Hello, everyone, and welcome to week two. Now that week one is over, you should have been able to get into your Google Drive, create a document using Google Docs, and be able to share it with me. Now we're going to kick it up a notch. We're going to use Google Drive to be able to collaborate with everyone in the class. And I'm making this video to kind of show you, maybe give a little bit of hints, a little bit of pointers, talk about what the assignment is for this week. And what I'm about to do now is I'm going to share my screen to where you'll actually be able to see my desktop. There it is right there. So what we're looking at right here is the Moodle and the student version. So this should be exactly what Moodle will look like for you in week two. What we got is I want you to first off read assignment number 2, read the rubric for assignment number 2. And then the last thing I want you to do is open this letter to Bugs. Letter to Bugs is the assignment for this week. What this assignment is going to be designed to do is to allow everyone to edit on the same document. Everybody can put their own input on it. So all this is outlined in assignment 2. But what we're going to do is successfully collaborate with everybody within the class to write a letter to Bugs Bunny. Yes, I did say we're writing a letter to Bugs Bunny. Why to Bugs Bunny? Because Bugs Bunny is awesome, and I don't care what anyone says about it. So here's what we're going to do. The first thing that you needed to do is get into Moodle, open up Letter to Bugs. Once you have it open, you have editing power on it. This is everything that I've written so far. The next person in line is going to come in. They're going to add their own 2 cents. So, for example, the first person to write on here may want to talk about their favorite episode with Bugs Bunny. And they can start off by saying something like, my favorite, episode. Can't type today, sorry. From when I was a kid was when. And then they could go on and type on what they want. Each student, each person in this class is required to type at least 100 words. This right here is 113 words. So as you can tell, it's really not that much. It's, maybe a little bit more a paragraph, maybe a little bit less than a paragraph, depending on how you actually type your paragraph. And whatever you type, everybody will be able to see what the changes are. You could actually go in there and delete something that somebody else has written, or you can add on to it. But for this assignment, you are not allowed to delete anybody else's work. No matter what it says, you are not allowed to delete it. So what you're going to do is you're going to come in here and you're going to type a paragraph. And to ensure that you've written 100 words, you're going to come in there and you're going to highlight all of this right here. So say that you actually type another paragraph right below it. You're going to highlight all of that paragraph. You're going to go up to Tools, Word Count. If you follow my cursor, you see where it says 113 right word on next to words. It says 113 out of 115. There are 113 words highlighted right here. So say you get in there and you start talking about my favorite episode was when Elmer, yeah, that's how you spell his name, Fudd shot Daffy Duck after he said it was duck season. So then you go in there and say you type that out and you type a paragraph describing this episode. You go in there and you highlight it and say this is everything that you've typed. Go back up to Tools, Word Count, and you can see that you have 17 out of the total amount of words. So you've typed 17 words and you need 83 more. But we're going to go ahead and erase that. And what this assignment is designed to do is the first person will come in and they'll type their paragraph. And then the second person will need to read my paragraph, what the second person typed, and the third person will have to add on to what I've typed and the second person's typed. The fourth person will keep adding on to it. And what you need to do is you need to read the whole entire letter. For whenever you actually get on, you need to read the letter, and you need to try and make it what you write to either somewhat flow or be just excessively creative or kind of way out there to where it really kind of throws the letter off or makes it better. And but yeah, you'll just keep adding on to it. Now, the next thing I want to show you is that whenever you come over here and you can go to File and you can say See Revision History. What it does is it shows up anybody and everybody who's typed anything. So today at 10:42, it should pull up everything I've typed. Okay, so at 10:42, this was a new document, didn't have anything on it. But by 10:55, it had all of this written on it. And by 12:07, you can see that I've kind of adjusted some things. So anytime anybody gets on here, it'll show up under revision history. It'll say your name, and then it'll highlight everything that you've done. So right here, it shows that I tried to type something, but nothing really showed up. So that's going to become very critical in this whenever it comes to me being able to grade this, because I will see who has typed what and when, and I will also be able to see if somebody deleted something. You are not allowed to delete anything off of this document. Under no uncertain terms are you allowed to delete anything that anybody else has written. If by some slim chance, so let's say that I typed in, when were you in, say, Spain, for example, asking Bugs Bunny that. And say I wanted to go ahead or somebody else to type that, and then here comes a third person, I'm typing in, hello, Bugs, how is your day? And then I just cannot type today. I'm sorry, people. So then you go and you start deleting. You decide you just didn't want to. You keep deleting. And then next thing you know, you deleted somebody else, what somebody else has written. Go right up here to this undo. It'll put back everything that you've just erased. That'll be critical in case you do accidentally delete somebody else's work. You need to immediately press undo, get that work back on there. And if for some reason you cannot get somebody else's work, contact me immediately, so that way I may be able to get that information back on there. But I will be able to see everything that everybody's done because it will show up on the revision history. As I mentioned, you need to have it, make sure it's at least 100 words on there. Have fun with this. Have fun with this assignment. Be creative. Be funny. If you're not really that creative, maybe just talk about something else. And under no uncertain terms are you allowed to use any profanity, inappropriate terms or phrases, any demeaning text. Let's try to keep it G-rated, not offensive. Just something that everybody can kind of laugh at, joke about, and really enjoy this assignment. Now, whenever you're finished with this assignment, say you've got everything typed up that you want to type, all you have to do is you go up right here to where this tab is, press X, and it automatically saves it. Do not do anything else. Now, I would encourage you to go and say you want to go back and you want to edit what you've typed. Go back in there, and it'll pull up exactly what everybody else has said, and it'll show everything. And I encourage you to go back and throughout the rest of the week and kind of look at this video or kind of look at the letter and see how it's actually progressed. Now, for this, there will be a rubric added on, or the rubric is already up on Moodle. For this assignment, you're going to be graded off of several things or get points for several things. If you edited the Google Docs, you'll get 20 points. Added at least 100 words, you'll get 15. Grammar is going to be important in this letter because other people are going to be able to see it. So grammar is worth 5 points. Did you add to this letter? Did you add to the flow of the letters worth 5 points? Was your section creative or interesting? It's another 5 points. If in any way you use inappropriate terms, phrases, or words, as an automatic 25-point deduction anytime that you use inappropriate terms. So say, for example, you said a cuss word twice within this letter, you automatically get a 0. If you say it 3 times, you will actually get negative 25 points for this assignment. And yes, you can get negative points on this assignment. Did you delete somebody else's work? You get negative 40 points. And what I mean by that, did you delete somebody else's work and leave it deleted? I understand if it's going to be an accident, try to get it back. And if you can't, let me know. I will work to get it back. But if you delete it, don't let anybody know and just leave it deleted. It will be an automatic 40-point deduction. That's going to be pretty much it. It's going to be due on Sunday at 11:59 at night. You're also going to have a forum post for this week. Good luck on this assignment, and let's see how it turns out.